Well, the 2020 Paralympics continue, whatever the weather, and it's certainly done an about-face in the last 24 hours. We've gone from 33 to 23 degrees after some overnight heavy rain. Well, it won't slow things down on the National Stadium track, however, and we're looking forward to Day 6 action, track and field. Certainly the 100-metre track is going to get a thorough workout today, and perhaps we'll see more records tumble in the 4 field event finals. There have been plenty so far, particularly in javelin and shot put. We can look forward to seeing if that trend continues. But the flag's not too busy again, still quite still and quite humid, but much cooler. And I think officials and athletes will appreciate that.
Yeah, they certainly will. It's going to be a little bit different. China at the top of the medal table still as we head into Day 6 here at these Para-Athletics Championships. And there's just the one final on the track in the morning session. That'll be the men's 400 metres T37. Then we'll see the reigning European and world champion and the world record holder Andrei Verdovin of the RPC, who will go up against Charles Dutoy, the Paralympic champion and the Paralympic record holder. Nick Mayhew will also go in that, who won in a world record over 100 metres. The Aussies picked up a couple of medals yesterday. Plenty of accredited officials in the crowd watching on.
It's a wonderful stadium that when it was initially planned around 2015, there was a lot of dispute about the cost and the design. They were thinking about a retractable roof and a much bigger capacity. Here's a look at how the events will unfold today. Starting off with the men's Javelin F34, a discus and a long jump for the women and men. Then we're on to the track for some heats and another shot put final, a 400 final. And there was a lot of toing and froing about how it should be built. The old stadium was demolished in 2015 and construction commenced in 2016 for this one. And they can increase the capacity by putting temporary seating over where you see the athletics track. It can get capacity up towards 80,000 for football, which is its primary use. But in this configuration, the capacity is much less, and it's being used to about 2% of its capacity at the moment, as we all know. But it's a marvelous stadium, and for some reason, the records just keep tumbling, track and field. And that's a tribute to the preparation of the athletes, of course. Low level cloud. Well, there's the Rainbow Bridge. We might actually get a rainbow at some point if the rain comes back. And Tokyo Bay. It's quite a complicated shoreline. It's very easy to get yourself lost, but not on the subway system, which works so well here. Humidity is very high, but fortunately the temperature is much lower. And again, you can see negligible breeze.
The humidity is being somewhat off-put, though, by the fact that it is only 23 degrees, so it actually is reasonably comfortable. A smattering of rain, well, more than a smattering, last evening. Well, the track is looking wonderful this morning as we prepare ourselves for the first field events of the morning.
It was absolutely throwing it down at the stadium last night, but on our way home, when I say home, to the hotel last night, there would seem to be parts of Tokyo that it had no rain at all. So it was a bit patchy, but very heavy here for a little while.
Yeah, no rain at all until we got there.
Yes. Anyway, we're all set for another day's action. Looking forward to it. And it doesn't have to be a final for these athletes to turn it on and produce records. That's for sure. So the long jump pit will be busy again. The T38 category.
It's a helpful stadium, though, isn't it, in the fact that the seating plan and the way it looks with the colours of the seats, actually, even when we don't have many people in here, it looks like there are a load of people in here. So from the naked eye, from our point of view, it looks quite nice, meaning that you actually look across and if you see a few people, it looks like there's more there because of the colours of the seating.
Yes, that's a recent trick that architects have come up with, and you'll see as we look around the stadium, there are no pillars. Everyone gets a perfect view, and that's also an engineering development that's very good for visibility around the stadium. And here's the field for the men's shot put, F20. Well, actually, that's the result from yesterday, which was in dispute. So it's down the bottom there, you see 3 athletes were disqualified. And so we're going to recap for you what happened. 3 athletes turned up fractionally late to the marshalling area, and they were subsequently disqualified. They were allowed to compete under protest, but Zulkifli there, the Malaysian, who threw a new world record and would have won the gold medal, was later ruled to be ineligible, as was Jordi Congo Villaba and Todd Hodgetts of Colombia and Australia, respectively. So a controversial shot put final, and we'll have the medal presentation later with Ukraine taking first and second, and no placing for Zulkifli, the world champion. Men's Javelin F34, so this is a seated throwing event. Mauricio Valencia of Colombia, Paralympic and world record holder, will be the 10th and last to throw. Here is the field, led off by Zhang of China, France, Morocco, Colombia, Papua New Guinea, Tunisia, Iraq, and Iran, all represented. So 2 in from China. And there is Mauricio Valencia, the 33-year-old who won in Rio and has won the last 2 world championships, and that is some strong upper body. Saeed Afrouz from Iran. Silver at the last Dubai Grand Prix, actually. Wang Yanzhang from Shanghai, silver in Rio, throwing 34.15. He's a world champion 2015. Hussein Kafaji of Iraq, third at the 2019 World Championships. From Tunisia, Fawzi Rizig, second at the 2011 Worlds and 5th in Rio. From Papua New Guinea, Maria Moraros, comes from Port Moresby, the capital. Diego Meneses Medina of Colombia, just missed a medal in Rio. He is 4th with 31.31. See if he can sneak into the medals this time. Azzedine Nouiri of Morocco, 4th at the 2017 World Championships. Thierry Sebon, twice a world champion, lives in New Caledonia and does sport development there. And Zhang Zhongqiang from Suzhou, 4th at the World Championships 2 years ago. And he's got a personal best of 36.76, and he's in the chair just about ready to go. But there's the man to beat. My goodness, he's 2 pickaxe handles across the shoulders there. What a big man. It's like he could lift twice his body weight. Start me up, says Mick Jagger. Well, we're about to get competition underway. Zhang, who's 23 years of age, is studying social work. In these seated events, the athletes get a few warm-up throws. So Valencia, the big Colombian, owns the world record at 38.23, set in Colombia actually, and in Rio, the Paralympic record set 5 years ago, 36.65. One suspects that might go the way these throwing events have been. I believe that first attempt was a foul. So a little bit too much movement in the seat, perhaps.
Really difficult, isn't it, for this event as well? There's just confirmation there of that foul for Zhang. Very difficult with the amount of swaying and to also get the javelin to make sure it hits the ground correctly as well. Of course, the point of the javelin has to make contact with the ground first, and he's almost struggling somewhat to get that elevation to make sure, because there's a fine line between elevation and making sure you get that distance. Obviously, the more elevation you get, the less distance you gain. So to get that javelin out there and to make sure you get that elevation, you are losing some ground. But that one there given as 29.02 for Zhang. So a first up throw. Of course, all 6 are taken at the same time in the seated category. It does take a little bit of a time to get through it. Hence, it's one of the longest of the events in the competition.
Women's discus F41 will be starting up shortly also, and quite a large field of 13 in this one, including Renata Slawinska of Poland, who's got those impressive records. F40 and F41 athletes in this, and will be led off by the Tunisian. Athletes from Montenegro, UAE, Argentina, Rwanda, Mongolia. A truly international field. Fatia Amaima was a bronze medalist in Rio with 26.16 and a runner-up twice at World Championships. Mariana Goranovic was 9th in Rio, but 5th at this year's European Championships. Antonella Ruiz-Diaz, I think we've had a withdrawal, the UAE athlete not appearing in the order. Now, here's someone who's got an intimidating presence wherever she competes. Talili, gold in Rio and 4-time world champion, and has already won the gold medal in the shot put here. Watichi of Rwanda, 15th at the World Championships 2 years ago. Charlotte Bolton from Ontario, Canada, the PB of 29.65. From Mongolia, Sarol Tugs Dagvadoj, best of 21.47. Saima Benkolab, 4th in Rio, 3rd at the 17 World Championships. And here she is, the world record holder, Renata Slawinska of Poland. Niamh McCarthy from Ireland, 2nd in Rio, European champion. El Garra, 25-year-old from Morocco, 5th in Rio. So 2 withdrawals from this one. Al-Zalyudi of the UAE and Mongolia's Dagvadoj opting out. So a field of 11 instead of the nominated 13. Athletes of short stature. There's the F41 and F40 class.
Must be a little bit more difficult for the athletes in this morning session as well, because they're so used to having this heat, even in their training, to get themselves warmed up so well. And it is a little bit cool, and when you're accustomed and acclimatized and you are used to that warmer weather, you're expecting it, and all of a sudden it changes.
And a T38 long jump to look forward to today as well. So quite a busy field event program. Hu Jianwen set that world record in 2015 in Doha. Also owns a Paralympic record of 6:64. But that athlete is not here. This is who is here in potential field of 12. Good to see an athlete from Georgia. Haven't had too many of them at the track and field. Plenty from Russian Paralympic Committee and China. Colombia's done well. South Africa down base will be here. Ukraine represented as well. And looks like we've got the full 12 lining up today. David Budoyan of the Russian Paralympic Committee was 4th at the European Championships. Ari Giacchini from Canberra in Australia, 4th at the 2019 World Championships at 6:16, which is a personal best for him. A rather longer PB for Zhu of 7:03. Jose Lemas Rivas, looking forward to him competing. He won the javelin here with a world record, and it was his first throw, and he was 5th in the 100. David Kavtaradze of Georgia, 5th at the World Championships 4 years ago. Mohamed Farhat Chida, 2nd in the 400 here, so he's already picked up a medal. He was 4th in Rio, and he won in Beijing, going back a few years now. Chinchigov, 2 years ago, 2nd at the World Championships with a best of 6:42. Expecting a strong presence from China today. Zhang with a PB of 6:79, set at the World Championships 4 years ago. Gomez Koa, 2 gold, 1 silver at the World Junior Championships in 2017. He loves this stage, does down base. From Stellenbosch, South Africa, was 3rd in Rio in this event. Mikita Senik of Ukraine from Dnipro, just slightly out of the medals in Rio, finishing 5th with 6:39. That's still his career best. And Zhou Peng, PB of 6:23, also competes in the 100, 200 and 400. A lot of the long jumpers are good sprinters. So China with 3 in this field, but not here, is the world champion, sorry, the world record holder, Hu Jianwen.
So we head to the track for the first time in the morning session. The men's 100 metres T11, complete visual impairment. This the first of 4 heats to go, with David Brown, the Paralympic champion, heading in heat number 2. He's also the Paralympic and world record holder. But this has a decent enough field as well. The former Paralympic champion from 2008 and the current world champion, Lucas Prado of Brazil. Atangana of Cameroon, who made it through to the final of the 400 metres, where he finished 4th. We'll go from lane number 3, known as La Flèche, which translates to the arrow. Bronze in 2016. He's already won silver here over 400 metres. Ananai Shikongo of Namibia. And the reigning world champion, 3-time world champion from 2011, 13 and in 2019, Lucas Prado of Brazil, a lifetime best of 10.95 for him. It will be the first he goes through, and then across the 4 heats, it will be the next 4 fastest who advance to the semi-finals. So 3 rounds in the T11 if you wish to win a Paralympic medal. Atangana will go in 3, Shikongo in 5, and on the near side, from Brazil, it will be Lucas Prado. All 3 get away quickly, and it was Shikongo who got away the fastest, but looking really strong on the outside is the world champion, Lucas Prado. Prado's going to get it, is he? He's just on the line. Prado takes it from Shikongo in 2nd, and Atangana of Cameroon in 3rd position. Well, he started off a little bit slowly, did that man Lucas Prado, but he came home well in the second half of the race, and Shikongo couldn't quite hold on, the man who took silver over 400 metres. And it is Lucas Prado in a time of 11.17 seconds, a season-best time for him, who picks up the victory and qualifies through to the semi-finals of the men's 100 metres T11.
Was a very even start, really, and very tight finish.
Yeah, just at that point there, I thought Shikongo was just edging in front, but Prado, he just went again and took it by a metre or so.
I do enjoy the synchronicity of guide and runner. The guide talking to his man, 5 metres, come on.
Well, he was introduced to the sport by the great Brazilian para-sprinter, Teresina Guilhermina, who was also a T11 Paralympic and world champion. And he moved through to the final, or the semi-final, I should say. Getting ahead of myself. Lucas Prado, 11.17. Shikongo, 11.21. And Atangana with a lifetime best, 11.52.
Long jump action at the National Stadium. Early moments of this competition. Fair jump. Athletes are always anxious to see how it goes. Zhu, one of the contenders here, certainly. Hits the board nicely. Great lift and carry. And he's quickly got his eyes across to the measurement board that runs beside the track there, and a 7:06. That looks like a PB for him, straight up by 3 centimetres. Here's our friend Lemos Rivas, the javelin gold medalist. Personal best of 6:50. Oh, he's right on that immediately. He's a big unit, very powerful man across the top there. He too getting the most out of this jump. He just strayed a little off to his left as he approached the takeoff. All fine. And a 6:47, so 3 centimetres short of a PB. A solid start from him as well. And the shot put. Discus for the F41, F40 class. And Talili certainly commands, it's Amayama, beg your pardon, the personal best at 27.98. She's top of the order in the F41 discus. And out towards 30. She's got a personal best 27.98. So 2 athletes from Tunisia. 3, in fact. Here's the second of them, Talili. Gold medalist in the shot put. Now, see how she goes in the discus. Throw a bit further than that. Personal best of 34.72. That's out around 30. Seemed to land right on the tape. Fractionally beyond it. 30.05. Very early in this competition, though. Charlotte Bolton. Canadian from Ontario. Says she's happy that the Tokyo Games were postponed by a year. She wasn't ready. She had a lot more work to do. Only 18, still a developing athlete. With the best of 29.65, so she'll be looking to build on that opening throw. So we go back to the track. Next heat.
Heat number 2, men's 100 metres, T11, the complete visual impairment category. There will only be 2 athletes who are set to go in this. Muumbaku is a non-starter. It does, however, contain a couple of decent athletes. Timothy Adolphe disqualified in the 400 metres after winning his heat for a tethering issue. You'll see in his right hand there the tether which both he and his guide Bruno Naprix have to be held together by. That was why he was disqualified. And then you've got David Brown, the reigning Paralympic champion, also holds both the Paralympic and world record, who will go in lane number 7. Timothy Adolphe, 8 times he's been disqualified at major championships. Silver in 2019 at the World Championships. He took silver at the recent European Championships as well. And the man who won gold in 2016, also world gold in 2015 and 17. Didn't have the greatest time in Dubai, finishing 6th in the final there. 10.92, that world record that he set in Walnut, California, back in April 2014. Adolphe, 10.99, his season best and lifetime best. So this promises to be a decent race, despite the fact there are only 2 that are going in it. Only one can definitely advance through to the semi-finals, but both may well go through if it's fast enough, with 4 of the fastest qualifiers to also go through with the winners across the 4 heats. Well, David Brown says he likes riding roller coasters. Can't agree with it. Not a fan of them. But his career has certainly not been a roller coaster. Has been a little bit for that man when it comes to running with guides. Away they go. Adolphe on the right of screen. David Brown, the Paralympic champion, going on the left-hand side. And it's Timothy Adolphe who's got away to a quicker start. Adolphe's looking really strong, and Adolphe is going to take it in a time of 11.12 seconds. So perhaps that's a bit of a turn up for the books. David Brown didn't have the greatest of times at the World Championships a couple of years ago, but Timothy Adolphe there looked really strong. 11.12 the time given. David Brown maybe not happy with the performance, but he certainly will be. 11.12 seconds. You always feel the officials look very close to Timothy Adolphe and the guide, though, as far as the tether goes, because of so many disqualifications. But Adolphe got off to a really fast start. David Brown, who changed guides. He used to have Jerome Avery, now as Moray Stewart, the 21-year-old. And Adolphe's guide just telling him when he was going across the line. You can see on the left of the screen there. And he takes the victory and moves through to the semi-finals.
So easy to lose the tether. You only need a slightly wild arm action. You know, the guide ideally is around the same height, and of course the guide's left leg comes up at the same time as the right leg of the runner. It's sort of running opposite strides to create the correct synchronicity. It's multi-dimensional. We'll go back to the discus. And the Irish competitor, McCarthy, from Cork, second in Rio. The shades back on. Don't know that it's that glary a day, but they're probably a favourite item. You need to be throwing well out past 30 metres, I think, to get yourself in the medals today. McCarthy can do that. El Garrar from Morocco. She's got a best of just under 30 metres.
So let's start 2 for El Garrar, out towards 30 metres. Top best of 29.6.
Neatly across the circle and gives it a good bellow as it leaves a hand. I'm afraid that didn't create any extra distance for it. And 28.22. Talili. Second throw for the Paralympic record holder. That's set in Rio. 33.38. Oh, I think she likes this one. That's out there. That could challenge the world record belonging to Karim of Morocco. It's 35.33, the world record. Well, she has come here to collect some medals, Talili. She looks powerful, and she is. Remember, she's already won the shot put. And 35.58, a new world record for Rawa Talili of Tunisia. Cheetah at the long jump. From Tunisia also.
Well, he's been around for a while, hasn't he? 2004 was when he made his senior debut in Athens at the Paralympic Games. Silver in that 400 metres. He's already run the 100 here as well, picking up 7th in that. And you do find in parasports that those sprinters do run in the long jump as well. It can be a commentator's nightmare at times, but there are many of them that do it.
Victory in Beijing. 6:44, 6:23 for Cheetah. Now, Chinchagov has a best of 6:42 And 6:41 at the European Championships this year, where he was victorious. Nice rhythm down the runway. Shortens his step just before the board somewhat. But it is a fair jump. No issues there. Pretty decent effort from Chinchagov. Still think it'll be the Chinese. It'll be tough to shift here. They've had such a good games. They've won more medals than double the medals of Great Britain, who are in second place on the overall medal count. And a 6:23 for Chinchagov. China with 62 gold at the start of today. Great Britain 29, 25 for RPC.
Heat number 3 in the men's 100 metres, T11 complete visual impairment. And this will be something to look forward to. 3 decent names, 3 very good runners. European champion in Gavilis, and also Puigdevall of Spain, who took gold over 400 metres on the right of screen there. Sandwich in the middle, Mendes da Silva of Brazil, who's a bronze medalist previously at World Championships. Athanasios Gavilis of Greece will go from lane 7. Gerard Descarrega, Puigdevall, gold in the 400, bronze in this event at the recent European Championships. Daniel Mendes da Silva, disqualified in the 400 metres, will be hoping for better in the 100. And Athanasios Gavilis of Greece, the reigning European champion, will go from lane 7 with a season best and lifetime best of 10.98, the fastest of the 3 in the field. So the guys just positioning their athletes. First of all, they'll get them into the blocks and make sure the hands and fingers and thumbs are all in the right position. And that tether you can see there that Gavilis is holding will come together with a 30 centimetre maximum that's allowed between the athletes there. Must stay connected the whole time. So Descarrega Puigdevall goes in 3, Mendes da Silva in 5, and Gavilis in lane 7, the first to automatically go through to the semi-finals. And Puigdevall got away really quick there, but it is Gavilis, the European champion, who's streaming through on the outside. He looks incredibly good. And a time of 10.88. He looked incredibly good, all right, and he set a new world record. Well, that was a magnificent run by the Greek athlete. Turns 22 later this year in December. He's 21 years of age, and in 2021, he's having quite a year. Gold in the European Championships, and now a new world record for Athanasios Gavilis of Greece. That world record mark has stood since 2014. David Brown in the previous heat had it. No longer.
Well, they've got a silver and 5 bronze in these games so far, Greece. They'd love that first gold medal. Maybe it'll be this man who provides it eventually. He certainly looks the goods.
Well, he's taken 0.1 of a second off his own lifetime best. Just great speed right from the beginning. Descarrega Puigdevall had got away almost as quick as him. But just look at that synchronized movement. Just watch the legs, how they work in tandem. And he lets let go at the end. Athanasios Gavilis, a world record. And what a run. Bit more in the tank as well. He's through to the semi-finals.
It's the reaction of the guide as he looked across at the board and said, eyes wide. You need a really quick guide if you're going to run a world record too, don't you?
And you need someone to look at the board for you as well. Gavalas with a world record, 10.88 goes through. Descarrega Puigdevol, a lifetime best in second for him. And Mendes de Silva in third position.
Well, we'll go back to the long jump. Gomez Koa. Colombian hits the board well enough, and he's very quickly out of the pit. Almost bounced out. Personal best of 6:36. Not too happy with that. That's a most unusual landing and exit. Boink, out, gone. See you. Not sure he intended to do that. We'll keep an eye on him across the competition and see if that is his way. But 6:27 is not far off his personal best. So it was a good jump. Just looked a little unusual. Senik now of Ukraine was 5th at the last Paralympics, jumping 6:39. Now, if that's fair, that's surely beyond that. That's straight up personal best, I think, for Ukrainian. So he's 6:39. He hasn't bettered that since Rio.
Well, he's gone close this year, 6:38. And that looks around that mark.
6:48. Well done, Senik. That's an area record for him. Coach looking for more, of course. Zhu Daning. First jump of 7:06, which eclipsed his compatriot Hughes' Paralympic record. My goodness, he's got some pace. And look at that world record mark. He's right on it. He's right on it. The world record belongs to Hu Jianwen, whose Paralympic record has already gone, courtesy of this man in the first round.
Well, he's having quite some championships, isn't he? Already a silver medal in the 100 metres. Just look at that hang time.
His eyes are immediately over to the board. He must have known that was a good leap.
Well, it's hard to tell at times, isn't it? When the coach speaks to him, the athlete's looking.
And he has equalled the world record of Hu Jianwen, set in Doha. Lemos Rivas. Let's see what he's got for us this time. Looks a bit similar to his 6:47 opening salvo. A slight shortening of stride as he approached the board. Looking down at it. And a fairly decent lift. You have to be conscious of the board without dropping your head to look at it. And a 6:45 it is. I think he enjoys himself out there. A big Colombian. Go back to the track.
Final heat of the men's 100 metres T11, complete visual impairment. And the man who's already won gold in the long jump in the T11, Di Dong Dong, will go in this one. Barry would go in the inside lane from Guinea-Bissau. There is Di Dong Dong. Gold in the long jump. He was 4th in this in 2016. He's had 2 bronze medals in 2015 and 17. Felipe de Sousa Gomez, well, he's looking forward to it, isn't he? You'd swear it's the final. The man who took silver in 2016 and a little bit more circumspect further out from the Maldives, Mohammed Mazin.
He must be a believer in scream therapy. That's entertaining, if nothing else.
Well, let's hope he's got enough energy left for the race. The experienced campaigner is the man from Brazil. As D Dong Dong looks to move through to the semi-finals and try and build on that gold medal that he picked up already here in the long jump. If you're new to Paralympic sport or para-sport in general and para-athletics, it just takes a little bit of time for the guys in the T11 complete visual impairment. A guide is compulsory at this particular level in T11, T12s and T13s. It can be up to the athlete to have one or not. So 4 go in this one, and the man who had plenty to say beforehand, De Sousa Gomez, gets away okay, but it's D Dong Dong in lane 3 who's going to take the victory and go through to the semi-finals, 11.07. So we saw the world record fall in the last of the heats, but D goes through in 11.07 in this one, a little bit slower than the previous one. But he holds off De Sousa Gomez of Brazil, who picked up a season best, finishing in 2nd position. And it is Barry of Guinea-Bissau who finishes 3rd, with Mazin of Moldova coming in 4th position. But D Dong Dong, a lifetime best of 11.07 and a new Asian record as well, qualifying in 1st position through to the final. Got away to a flying start, did the 27-year-old from China, and from there he was never headed. De Sousa Gomez did his best, the man who's 35 years of age now and knocking on somewhat, but it was D Dong Dong with a new lifetime best and Asian record.
I think the more we watch these vision-impaired sprinters, the more you appreciate how much training goes in with guide and athlete. It's a complex and yet beautifully simple thing when it's done well, but it takes some training to get that level of understanding and uniformity of movement. Go back to the discus, and Charlotte Bolton was 6th in the shot put here. She's a bit of a character, Charlotte. She's the only person in Canada throwing in her classification, so she freely admits that every time she does a PB, it's a national record. And, and it's a tongue-in-cheek kind of statement about her situation, but she's on the rise at 18 years of age. And I think come Paris in 3 years, and don't you love seeing the camaraderie between the athletes? They come to these events and make new friends. Might be rivals.
A bit like you, Steve.
Sure. But you know, in these throwing events, you have no control over what your rival does, so there's no point making an enemy out of them. You try and get on, perhaps learn from each other. You have no influence over what they do. It's not like a combative sport where you're physically trying to beat your opponent. And as a consequence, a lot of them get on very well. Amamia of Tunisia. Sports like this are almost like a mutual admiration society, like gymnastics. The camaraderie between athletes who understand what each other has been going through to get to this level, the training, the injuries, the travel, the sacrifices, they all do it and respect each other for it. 28-23 for Amamia of Tunisia. And that's her best so far. Now Talili, who smashed the world record with her second attempt.
Seems to be every time she heads to a major championship, she manages to smash a new record.
Does she like it? Generally she does. It's out around 35. 35.58 is the new world record she's just set. Took it away from Yusra Karim.
Well, she has 4 Paralympic golds across shot put and discus. And she's got 8 World Championship golds. Full of experience. 35.29, so she doesn't improve on that world record she set with her second attempt, but she's still in first place.
Here is Karim, former world record holder. And Karim, after a modest second throw, has really pushed one out there. She's interested in this one. That is flying. Second at the World Championships 2 years ago, and keen to get a world record back. And has thrown 37.35. She's improved her old world record by 2 meters. Get out of town. Unbelievable.
Well, this is Di Dong Dong going through to the semi-finals in the 100 meters T11 complete visual impairment. In heat number 4, beating off D'Souza Gomez, a lifetime best, an Asian record 4D. D'Souza Gomez also qualifies though with his time. 4 fastest losers through to the final. A new world record from Gavalas of Greece, who took it away from David Brown, who's just snuck in. The former world record holder and Paralympic champion David Brown, 11.34.
Long jump, and Chinchigov, Russian Paralympic Committee, hits the board nicely. No room to spare there. It is a fair jump. Chinchigov opened with a 6.23. Needs more to force his way into the top 3. They're about 30 centimetres in advance of that. Certainly making the effort required. But is the technique there? 6.37. Nice improvement, moving him up to 4th. Zhong Wangao foul with his first attempt. He's generated some nice pace on the runway. Zhong with a personal best of 6.79. Perhaps not quite there with this one, but having fouled with his first, he'll be relieved to have got a decent jump in the book. Make sure he goes through with the 8 for the second lot of 3 jumps. And 6.57, that should see him through come the time. And the first of our victory ceremonies, and the F20 shot put. Now, this was very controversial last night because 3 of the athletes in the field were slightly late in the marshalling area. Under protest, they were allowed to compete. A new world record was set by one of them, Mohammed Zalkefli, but They were later declared non-starters and their throws were discarded.
The medals will be presented by
And Zalkefli, who would have been gold medalist in other circumstances,
governing board member
was ruled out,
National Paralympic Committee.
and that changed the top three in the most significant way. Terribly disappointing for the Malaysian, but they are the rules, and it's up to the athletes and their handlers to make sure they're in the marshalling area, not just on time, but before time.
Bronze medalist representing Greece, Efstratios Nicolaides.
So Nicolaides had a 15.93 in the second round. He would have spent the night wondering if he was in or out of the bronze medal position, and the good news is he's on the podium today. And especially good news because he was fourth in Rio and London, so he didn't want to be fourth again. Idolises the great American shot putter Ryan Krauser, who was gold medalist here a few weeks ago on a stunning shot put exhibition. And well, this one memorable in various ways. Coming into the competition, Zalkefli, the disqualified Malaysian, had the world record of 17.29, and that was bettered on various occasions.
Silver medalist representing Ukraine, Alexander Yarovyi.
So Yarovyi was right amongst it from the start. In fact, his second throw, by 1 centimetre, he beat the old world record. He threw 17.30. Yarovyi from Ukraine won the European Championships this year, so coming into it with great form and a silver medal, and briefly held the world record.
Gold medalist and Paralympic champion representing Ukraine, Maxim Koval.
Maxim Koval, the 24-year-old from Cherkasy in Ukraine, won the 2019 World Championships, 2018 European Championships, and in the third round he also broke the world record with 17.34. Zalkefli, who was later disqualified, threw even further, but that throw won't count, and so the world record for now belongs to Koval, and so does the gold medal.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Ukraine.
皆様、ウクライナ国歌の演奏です。
Ukraine 5th on the medal table now. They're having a very strong games. They've had a real presence in Paralympic sport for a few cycles now. Koval and Yurovyi adding to the tally. And another minor medal there for Greece. Nicolaides will feel it was that he was due after 2 fourth placings. That would have been a hard pill to swallow if he was 4th again. But seated javelin competition underway in this session. F34. Field of 10. They take all 6 of their throws one after the other once they're set up in the chair. Menses Medina. Landed point first, doesn't have to pierce the grass as long as it lands in that fashion. And a 37.11 is a new Paralympic record. So Maurizio Valencia, who's yet to go, has had that record taken away from him. The big man from Colombia will go last in that competition.
Well, we noticed a few more jackets in the crowd, or those who are accredited either as officials or athletes, and watching on, it's a bit cooler.
And another victory ceremony out of an event from the previous session last evening, the men's shot put F32. This would eventually be won by Liu Li of China. And yet another world record set.
Mr. Juan Pablo Salazar, governing board member of the International Paralympic Committee.
国際パラリンピック委員会理事
Accompanied by
続きまして横川博
Executive Board Member of the Tokyo Organizing Committee of the Olympic and Paralympic Games.
東京オリンピック・パラリンピック競技大会組織委員会理事
Bronze medalist representing Oman.
Mohammed Al Mashiki of Oman with a 10.84, his first attempt, would hold on and claim Oman's first medal of these games in any sport. You can't exactly take your pick there. You've got to take the one that you're entitled to. And a few athletes have had a bit of a game with the presenters saying, I'll take this one. Oh, no, you won't. But congratulations to Masheki, a 30-year-old. When he finished second at the 2017 World Championships, that was the first World Championship medal for an Oman athlete.
Silver medalist and RPC athletes.
銀メダリスト RPC
Alexei Cherkin.
Alexei Cherkin from Novocherkassk. Just missed a medal in the club throw. He was 4th. But this year at the Europeans, he was triumphant with an 11.16.
Congratulations, sir.
But at European Championships, you don't have to deal with China's Liu Li. Churkin here with an 11:31, so that was a new personal best and area record for him.
Gold medalist and Paralympic champion, representing People's Republic of China.
金メダリストおよびパラリンピックチャンピオン中華人民共和国
Liu Li, a second gold medal for him. He won the club throw. His world record mark of 12:05 was set 2 years ago in Dubai. He nearly got there with his third attempt at 12:02, and then with his fifth, he absolutely smashed it. 12:97. So by nearly a metre, he's bettered his world record. Pretty cool character, and a double gold medalist here in Tokyo.
皆様中華人民共和国国歌の演奏です
On the overall medal table, China, the leading nation, as we well know, a total of 132 medals, almost half of which are gold. 62 gold, 38 silver and 32 bronze. Liu Li owns 2 of them. Back to the long jump, and Senik of Ukraine. Another one out to around 6:50. He's looking pretty good in the early stages of this competition. We're, I say early, we're almost halfway through, and Senik started with a 6:48, which was a new area record and personal best. He's backing that up, I think, with an even better attempt. 6:53. He's amongst the medals at the moment. Long way to go. Zhu Dening. He's already taken the world record away from compatriot Hu Jianwen. It was 7:13. Well, he's equaled it, I beg your pardon. Can he go better? Oh, yes, he can. Oh, if that superimposed line is correct, then Zhu Dening will be the undisputed world record holder rather than just sharing it. He wants to know.
He's absolutely smashed that. He must be at least 20 centimetres further.
What a fantastic leap. And he's immediately wanting to have a look at the board across there, and I think he likes it as he throws some sand back into the pit. 7:31. Oh, goodness. That's a mighty leap.
He always seems amazed, doesn't he, when it happens?
Lemos Rivas now, the big Colombian and javelin gold medalist. Short of 7 metres, but a good effort from him. He's got a best of 6:50. So a PB of 6:50, he's well past that, isn't he? Very confident of where he was on the board. His head was up.
When you look on the far side, he's past that Paralympic record mark.
6:70. That's a big PB for Lemos Rivas. 20 centimetres better. Great competition unfolding here. Zhong, 6:57 in the second round.
Well, he's up there around it as well. The Paralympic record coming into this was 6:64. So Lemos Rivas, with his third attempt with an area record, has gone past it. And Zhong here is around that mark of 6:64 as well.
Now, there might have not been much competition the last 18 months, but these guys have been training hard. 6:69. That's my only explanation. A lot of time spent at home training rather than travelling and competing.
Fresh bodies.
Yeah. El Garrar of Morocco and the discus. She's got nicely behind that.
Well, last time we saw her, she took her world record back.
And she's thrown 29 and change. $29.28.
El Garrar of Morocco, Karim at the top, and Talili in between. And here's the lady from Tunisia, Amaima. Well, she left it all out there. Did the 31-year-old.
Amamia.
Just watch that effort.
$27.98. Amamia's previous career best. Well, 29.04. I don't know what it is about this competition, especially in the throwing events. The records just go and go. Neem McCarthy of Ireland.
Well, the European champion needs something in 5th position.
You need to convert some of that height into distance, I think. Looks to be travelling nicely, but just doesn't have the carry. Some of the bigger throwers. 28.52 for the 4th attempt. Now El Garrar. Last up in the rotation through the first 3 throws, which is not last in the standings. Got a best of 29.30 so far, just 20 centimetres below her best. Still looking to pass that 30-metre mark. forever working on technique. Now, Talili, 35.58. The second throw to beat the old world record. What about now? That looks good. That looks very good. So Karim's world record coming in, just reminding you, was 35.33. And a couple of these competitors have made that look ordinary. Talili. And the officials have had to go chasing after that one. They weren't expecting a throw of 37.13. Well, that's nearly 2 metres past the old world record, but still not good enough. Because of Karim, who's reclaimed her world record.
Bronze medalist representing Oman, Mohammed Al-Mashaki.
Karim opened with a foul and a 34.49. And then 35.80. So it might be hard to refine the effort that gave her that stunning new world record, 37.35. We go back to the track and a 400.
Yeah, the T37 coordination impairment category. And it's not often that we only have one track final in a session. We do in the morning, and it is something I am looking forward to. Stand by. Andre Verdovin and Charles du Toit, the world record and Paralympic record holders respectively, go in this, as does the man who won 100-metre gold, Nick Mayhew, setting a new Paralympic record and world record. He hasn't even got a time for the 400 metres, so this should be interesting. 6 to go. Okapinski of Ukraine will go in lane 8. Verdovin, who has silver over the 100 metres. He's the reigning world champion and European champion, and he's the world record holder. He goes in lane 7. Mikhail Kokovsky, who took bronze in 2017, silver at the recent European Championships, will go in lane 6. Charles du Toit in lane 5. He's the Paralympic champion and the Paralympic record holder of South Africa. Inside him, it'll be the second of the Russian Paralympic Committee athletes, Sherman Kobasov. He was 4th in the 100 metres, just missing out on the medal. He was the world champion in this event in 2013. And Nick Mayhew, world record in the opening day, gold in the 100 metres on his Paralympic Games debut. No season best, no personal best for the 400 metres, so we'll see what happens here. There could be some fireworks. He's certainly not short of confidence. European and world champion and world record holder, Andre Verdovin of the RPC. That world record set in Dubai when he won gold in 2019. There's the Paralympic champion. Disappointing in the 800, in the 100 metres. This, his favourite event. Okapinski in 8, Verdovin in 7, Kokovsky in 6, du Toit in 5, Kobasov in 4, and Mayhew goes in lane 3, and looking really strong on the outside is the world champion Andre Verdovin. He's already gone up past Okapinski, and Kokovsky on the inside in the red shorts and white vest is looking really good. Charles du Toit is strong with 200 metres to go as they round the bend. They're halfway through the race, and du Toit has now come up on the inside shoulder of Mikhail Kokovsky. It's Verdovin who leads. Du Toit in second, Kokovsky in third position, but the second of the RPC athletes, Sherman Kobasov, is also looking strong, but it's Andre Verdovin out in front. He's 10 metres in front is the man from the RPC. Mayhew's in second position, but it's going to be Verdovin who takes it. Mayhew takes second. Kobosov in third position, and a new world record. He's broken his own mark that he set 2 years ago, has Andre Verdovin, and he's picked up a gold to add to his World Championship gold. He is the new Paralympic champion, 49.34. Mayhew with a American record, 50.26, and Sherman Kobosov has taken bronze and a lifetime best also of the RPC. Well, that was a race. Kotkowski went out, he tried to excel from around the 200-metre mark. He couldn't go with them. And it was Andre Verdovin who looked really strong all the way through. Mayhew gives him congratulations. Great to see the man who won gold over 100 metres has picked up a silver in the 400 metres. But there is the champion, Andre Verdovin, a world record, and adds the Paralympic title to his world title. Well, just look at the speed that Verdovin got away with. He was straight up on Okopinski. It's such a tactical race, the 400 metres, no matter what level you run it at. And when he came into the straight, it was just a case of what time it was going to be. The battle was on for silver and bronze. He had his arms out, he was stretched, he knew he won it. And just watch this magnificent scene as he goes across the line. He's got the smile on his face, there's no grimace there. He knows he's won it. Out go the arms, looks at the time, up at the screen, he knows he's won by a good 5 or 6 metres, and then he realises he's got the world record.
Well, it's a world record easing up across the line. There is, as you say, Tolson, a big screen that they can look up at if they've got the time and the comfortable margin to do so.
Well, he was comfortable. Just look behind there, the reigning champion Charles du Toit ended up in 5th position. Disappointing Paralympic Games for the South Africans so far.
Well, du Toit just hit the wall with about 50 to go and was almost going backwards through the field, unfortunately for him.
That's the problem with the coordination impairment category, as the 2 RPC athletes celebrate gold and bronze. In coordination impairment, though, you can tighten up as you head towards the final part of the race. That man didn't. New world record, 49.34 for Andre Verdovin, Paralympic champion and world champion. World record for Verdovin then, and gold. Mayhew adds to his 100-metre gold with a silver in the 400 metres, and Sherman Kobosov, lifetime best for him, picks up the bronze. Du Toit, the reigning champion going into this, out of it.
Conditions much more comfortable for watching today for those with accreditation who can make their way here. And the men's shot put F46 also underway now. Josh Sinamo of the United States has the world record. Pleased to say he's in the field today. Up 4th. Lithuania, Canada, the RPC, South Africa, Germany, Venezuela and China joining Sinamo in this one.
Here's Greg Stewart, his season best of 15.81 for the Canadian.
He's out of Victoria, British Columbia, just near Vancouver. Oh goodness, what a start.
Well, his season best has been beaten, I can tell you that.
Yes, his personal best probably too, of 16:30. Well, 16:75. What's going on? Well, we'll leave that and come back to what will surely be another great shot put competition as we head to the victory ceremony area. Men's high jump, T63, was won by Sam Grew of the United States from India's Mariappan Thangavalu and Sharad Kumar. This event was held in pouring rain, and the athletes did well to achieve the heights they did. 188 in the end for Sam Grew.
メダルの贈呈は
Dr. Deborah Alexander, governing board member of the International Paralympic Committee.
国際パラリンピック委員会理事
Accompanied by
続きまして横川博
Executive Board Member of the Tokyo Organising Committee of the Olympic and Paralympic Games.
東京オリンピック・パラリンピック競技大会組織委員会理事
Bronze medalist representing India,
銅メダリストインド
Sharad Kumar.
Kumar was 6th in Rio. Actually lives and trains in Ukraine these days. He says the training opportunities are better there. Won the Paralympic Asian Games in 2018 and has a best of 190, but in that drenching rain, he came out of the competition at 1 metre 83, a season best for him, and a bronze medal as well.
Silver medalist representing India,
銀メダリストインド
Mariappan Thangavelu.
Thangavelu hung in a little bit longer. He was able to clear 186. Third at the World Championships 2 years ago, and he actually was the gold medalist in Rio with 189. Now that height would have won him the gold medal, but it wasn't a night for world records in field events last night, with the rain just belting down. So he's got gold and now silver.
Gold medalist and Paralympic champion representing United States of America,
金メダリストおよびパラリンピックチャンピオンアメリカ合衆国
Sam Grew.
Sam Grew out of Middlebury, Indiana. 3-time world champion, studying medicine. Whether they know it or not, sometimes these guys are great role models. A letter from a gentleman working on these games, Masaki Kando, was written to say what an inspiration Sam has been to Masaki's son, who's had osteosarcoma in his right knee, a quite common cancer. And it's just compelling, some of these stories and the effect that these athletes can have on others, especially young people with disabilities. I think Sam Grew would be deeply moved to know that he'd had this positive effect on a Japanese family
パラリンピックメダリスト
who
です
said they'll all be watching and cheering him on. Sam himself has undertaken medical studies. He says there aren't enough doctors who truly understand what it's like to live with a disability. He said he's never met a doctor with a disability like his, and it's an interesting point. But he'll be a doctor one day. Chinchigov as we go back to the long jump pit. World records just keep tumbling here. We've had one in the long jump already, not from Chinchigov, who's trying to get himself into medal contention. Head up, legs up, eyes up, hopes up. And a 6:51, our PB for Chinchigov. Now Zhong, with that 6:69, is in medal contention. Let's see what he's got for us here. A lot of drive, a lot of speed. It's lacking a little height. He certainly got the most out of the board too. I think he already knows what he might have been able to do better there. Just didn't get a lot of lift, did he? But still got a fair amount of carry out towards 7 metres. .661, so not quite as good as his third attempt. So we've trimmed the field to 8 for the last 3 jumps, of course.
Women's 400 metres T37. Took place last evening. And China with the gold medal in this one to Yang Fen. Ukraine and South Africa also picking up medals. This was a race that had 1 disqualification, and the rest were either lifetime bests or season bests.
Governing board member of the International Paralympic Committee.
国際パラリンピック委員会理事
Accompanied by
続きまして高岡元国
Chairman of the Board, President and Chief Executive Officer, Airweave Inc.
株式会社エアウィーヴ代表取締役会長兼社長
Well, there was plenty of rain
銅メダリスト
in the stadium last evening. Cheryl James, who came 4th in the 200 metres. She was bronze in this event in the World Championships in 2019. She's now added a Paralympic bronze medal to her collection. New lifetime best of 103.82. Took around a second off her previous best.
Silver medalist, representing Ukraine,
銀メダリストウクライナ
Natalia Kozar.
Well, Natalia Cobbs, she looked disappointed afterwards. She's the world champion and European champion. She was hoping to add the Paralympic champion tag to that as well. She was only beaten by 0.11 of a second. Narrow margins in major championships, and it was a lifetime best though, so you can't really ask for much more than that for the lady from Ukraine.
Gold medalist and Paralympic champion, representing People's Republic of China.
金メダリストおよびパラリンピックチャンピオン中華人民共和国
Jiang Fenfen.
But for this lady, it was a new Asian record. 101.36 seconds. 1.54 seconds better than her previous best mark, the 23-year-old Yang Fen of China. And China are rocketing away at the top of the medals at the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games. As we now pause for the national anthem, with China on 132 medals, 62 of them gold. Well, that was the final track event on day 5, and it was a fantastic win for Yang Fenfen of China. Women's 400 meters T37 Paralympic champion. As she holds up those wonderfully crafted medals. And it was South Africa with a bronze and Ukraine with a silver.
Women's discus and Talili. Such a dominant competitor in these field events, the throws especially. And Talili has already beaten her world record once. She threw 37.13. In fact, twice she's beaten it, 35.58 in the second round. And how about that? She says she's got a certain swagger now. 37.91. 2.6 meters she's improved Karam's world mark. And Karam trying to have something to say about that. Here she goes. Oh no, she stepped out of the circle. That's going to be a foul. I wonder how good it might have been. We'll never know. But, she managed to throw 2 meters further than her old mark as well, but it's Talili. Being embraced by Amamia, fellow Tunisian, and now what great spirit there is amongst these athletes. Doesn't seem to matter how much they win. She gives the hug to McCarthy there. And to Charlotte Bolton. Well, she could probably lift 2 at once if she tried. Talili is amazing. .37.91 becomes a new world record.
Well, the men's 100 meters T53. The next up on the track, there are 2 heats going in this. Brent Lakatos, the world record and Paralympic record holder, will go in the opening heat of 2. Lakatos failed to qualify for the 1500 meters final. Fernandes de Silva of Brazil. Algonado of Saudi Arabia. Brignoni of France. Krunget of Thailand. And there is Brent Lakatos of Canada, the reigning champion. He's taken silver in the 5,000 meters here, silver in the 400 meters, disappointment in the 1,500. He'll hope for better in the 100. Yang Xiaoqiao of China, who was disqualified in the 400 meters, will go in lane 8. So the first 3 will move through, and the next 2 fastest across the 2 heats will advance to the final of the men's 100 metres T53. So the second strongest of the wheelchair categories and getting away really well. It's Al Ganadel of Saudi Arabia. Lakatos on the outside in lane 7 is making his mark there. And Lakatos in that last 50 metres takes it. Al Ganadel in second position. And it looked like inside him, Fernandez da Silva of Brazil had also gone through. We'll wait for confirmation of that. But Lakatos has taken the win in the opening heat of 2 in the men's 100 metres T53. So he looked really strong there, Brent Lakatos. He would have had to deal with that disappointment of failing to qualify for the 1500 metres final. The shorter events are what he's known for. And you just see on the inside there in lane 4, the green top of the Saudi Arabian from Riyadh, the 36-year-old Al Ganadel, who started really well. But Lakatos just gets those arms pumping and in the end wins by a couple of lengths. On the inside is Fernandez da Silva, who has pipped it for 3rd place to go through. Season best for Brent Lakatos. 14.49 seconds, so 14.58 his season best coming into it. His lifetime best of 14.10, which is that world record he set in Arbonne in Switzerland in 2017. 14.49, Brent Lakatos goes through to the final. So the full result, Lakatos goes through first, Al Ganadel of Saudi Arabia in second, and it is Fernandez da Silva who takes the automatic 3rd qualification position. The rest will now have to wait to see if they can go through as a fastest loser.
F41 discus was astonishing competition, really. Talili broke the old world record 4 times, and with the 6th throw, biggest of the day, 37.91, and Morocco 2nd and 3rd. So that's been a significant boost to Morocco's medal tally. But Talili, that's 2 gold medals for her. That's great fun. Cheetah there, enjoying the moment. And the fellow Tunisian. So Talili, 37.91. Karim also beat her old mark, but couldn't beat Talili today. And El Garrar making it 2 medals for Morocco there with the silver and bronze. Amamia, a good competition from her as well. And we had a couple at the bottom there who didn't make the start line in this one, unfortunately. But still, a very memorable competition.
Second heat in the men's 100 metres T53. We just saw the world and Paralympic record holder Brent Lakatos go through in 1st place in the opening heat. And this one sees the European champion Pierre Fairbank and the 400 medal gold winner Pongsakorn Payo of Thailand in it. Abdurrahman Al-Qurashi, silver in 2019. The worlds will go from lane 2. Next to him, the reigning world champion Pongsakorn Payo, who's taken gold in the 400 metres already at these Paralympic Games. Brian Seaman, he's one of a Bunch of quadruplets at home. He had 3 sisters. He was the only boy. Yu goes in 5. Gritsenko of the RPC in 6. Pruvtsov in 7. And Pierre Fairbank, the 50-year-old Frenchman, European champion, will go in lane 8. Took up the sport back in 1989, Fairbank. There's some experience for you. 32 years worth. So Seaman goes on the left there in 4, and it is Pongsakorn Paya who's already taken gold in the 400 metres, who's streaking away in 2nd position at the moment, along with Al Karashi. And Paya is going to take it across the line. Pongsakorn Paya in 1st. Al Karashi goes across, and then on the outside it's Pierre Fairbank, who looks like he's claimed the 3rd position to go through to the final. But Pongsakorn Paya, it was Al Karashi who got away the quicker of the two, in the green and white there in the number 2 helmet. But the man in all blue of Thailand with the white, red and black helmet.
They flashed that up as a new Paralympic record, Tulsa. Let's see if that's confirmed.
Well, it just goes to show you how quick this track is, because, well, Paya wanted to get there ahead of Al Karashi, but I think he had a fair bit more in the tank. And it has been confirmed as a Paralympic record, 14.30 for Pongsakorn Paya. Al Karashi with a lifetime best in 2nd, and Pierre Fairbank, the European champion, has gone through in 3rd. Well, personal best and season bests all the way down across the board, except for Pierre Fairbank, but he still qualifies. Paralympic record for Pongsakorn Paya, who joins the final with Al Karashi and Fairbank. And Gritsenko, who finished in 4th position, also did enough to qualify through with a lifetime best. Season best for Yu and Brian Seaman. Lifetime bests for 4 in the field. So here's what the final will look like. Pongsakorn Paya, who's taken Brent Lakatos's Paralympic record he set in Rio 5 years ago. Lakatos goes through the 2nd of the fastest through to the final.
Getting towards the sharp end of this long jump competition, and Zhong of China is in medal contention for sure. He's been in very good form after the first up foul. A couple of season bests from him. The 22-year-old from Wu Yishan, silver medalist in Rio. What's it to be here? He's got it out there. He has no trouble with pace. It's just getting the height to get the distance. Nice position on the board. Certainly maximised that opportunity. And a 6.62. That's a very consistent competition, isn't it? From Zhong. Kinshagov needs a big effort to get amongst the medals. And he does give every effort. The RPC man who was 2nd at the World Championships 2 years ago with a 6.42. And that, until today, was his career best. He's gone further, so all credit to him. But he's not going to go far enough as he tears up his bib number 6.53. Oh, look, you've done your best in a new personal best. You should be proud of that. I'm sure eventually he will be. Would like to have done better. Another look at Zhong. Let's see if he can create some lift here. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Gee, he hits the board in a good spot. He leaves nothing wasted there. That's just fair. And Zhong love to make this a China 1-2 with his teammate Zhu Dining. Oh, how he didn't hit the plasticine with that, I do not know. But he's really trying to get up there. And Zhong, I like his attitude. And a 680, where did that come from? Well, he's been tweaking it, and that is a personal best for Zhong. And here's Lemos Rivas. Best of 670, which was an area record in his third attempt. And a couple of fouls since, but that looks good. That's asking the question of Zhong. I think it's very close to 680. He wants to know, the javelin gold medalist. It's his way to just shorten that last stride or two. He's such a big, strong man. There's a lot of weight to get up in the air, and it's all muscle. And 678. So he's missed out on silver there by 2 centimetres. And it is a 1-2 for China with Zhu, who chose not to jump again after his third round 7:31. Interesting. It was a world record. And he knew he was safe. In fact, he was safe by 50 centimetres. No wasted effort there from Zhu Dining. China 1-2 and Colombia third. So if you're wondering why we didn't see any more jumps from Zhu, he didn't have any. A relaxing day at the pit.
The long jump pit.
7:31. That's all right.
This should be all right as well. The women's 100 metres T36, the opening heat of 2. The world record holder Shi Yiting, set back in 2017, will go in the next heat, having already won 200 metres gold at these championships. The European champion, Shan Buthorn of the Netherlands, will go in lane 4. Danielle Aitchison has taken silver over 200 metres, the 20-year-old who was born with 10% of her hearing. Just turned 20 years of age on the 16th of August. There is Shan Buthorn. Gold in Bydgoszcz in Poland. She was 5th in the 200 metres. Elena Ivanova took gold in 2011 and 15 in the Worlds. The Silva Brito of Brazil, who took up the sport in 2008. And Yanina Andrea Martinez, who was bronze in the 200 metres, goes in lane 7. 13.85 for Danielle Aitchison, has the best of the times among the 5 runners going in this opening heat of the women's 100 metres T36, the New Zealander. So New Zealand, Netherlands, RPC, Brazil and Argentina all represented. It's the medium coordination impairment category, and it is Aitchison who gets away very quickly on the inside and being fastly followed up. It's Elena Ivanova of the RPC. It's the first 3 who will go through. It's going to be Aitchison, Ivanova, and on the outside, Martinez of Argentina, who are the definite 3 qualifiers through to this evening's final. Well, Aitchison got away to a very fast start, the New Zealander, in lane 3. She's looking to go 1 better than she did in the 200 metres when she picked up silver. And she's easily qualified through in a time of 14:35, and that's a new Oceania record for Danielle Aitchison. Still hasn't got up to her season best, but she'll be more than happy to go through. A season best time for Elena Ivanova in second, and Yanina Andrea Martinez of Argentina, a season best for her of 14.60. But that lady there, 14.35 through in first place, the 20-year-old. Well, she got off to a wonderful start. She was about a metre or so ahead, within 10 metres. At this level, that can be hard to pull back. Even Nova was doing her best on the middle, and out wide it was Martinez of Argentina, the South American, picking up third, but Danielle Aitchison looked really strong indeed. Boothorn, the European champion, finished in fourth, a lifetime best for her, 14.84 across the line there in the orange. But Danielle Aitchison, she's almost got a smile on her face as she heads towards the finish line. She looks really smooth and really strong, the 20-year-old. And she progresses to the final, 14.35. Ivanova also through. Martinez with the third automatic qualification place.
Got a very sunny attitude, hasn't she, Aitchison? It's nice to watch. It's fun to see athletes enjoying themselves, even in the heat of intense competition. Go back to shot put. Greg Stewart led off nicely with a big first attempt. Now, Prokhorov, the 30-year-old from RPC, European champion this year in this event, spins nicely and out past 16 metres. An area that Greg Stewart's already visited. So 16.29. He's got a solid hold on second at the moment. Only two men have cleared 16 metres. Cinemo. Holds the world record at 16.80. Hasn't found that form yet. Smooth technique out around 16. Originally from San Diego, supports the Padres in Major League Baseball. Noemdo of South Africa. Opened up with a 15.48. Sitting just out of the medals at the moment. Oh, double spin at the end to make sure he didn't career over the front of the circle. That's great balance and poise from the big man. And another spin to make sure he doesn't tumble out the front. That's great to watch the big man so poised and with great balance. 15.65. He's got a bit to do to displace Cinemo from third. Wei En Long. 3 fair attempts so far. Needs to get closer to 16 metres. The 34-year-old from Chengde. So he's a slider as opposed to the spinners who rotate through the circle. But he gives it a great heave. Closing in on 16 metres. 15.38 that time. Couldn't improve on his third. Back to the top of the 100-metre track.
And the second heat of the T36 category, the medium coordination impairment in the women's 100 metres. Shi Yiting, the world record holder, will go in this one. She's already won the gold over 200 metres at these Paralympic Games, plus the last 2 world titles. There she is in lane 3 on the inside. 23 years of age. And what a career she's already had. Yam of Hong Kong, Nikolajczyk of Germany, who is disqualified in the 200 metres. John, who was 4th in that 200, the 44-year-old, took silver in 2012 and bronze in 2017. She's also the Asian champion over 2014 and 18. Oliveira Cruz of Brazil, who took silver in the 2019 Pan American Games, will go in lane 7. So the first 3 will go through, and the next 2 fastest. At the moment, the cut-off point is 15:05. Samira de Silva Brito in the opening heat. So the second heat of the women's 100 metres T36 medium coordination impairment, and is Shi Yiting, the world record holder, who gets out quickest of all. Nikolajczyk of Germany is looking strong for second, and it looks like John of Korea. What's the time? 14.50. So a slower time than Danielle Aitchison, who won the opening heat in 14.35, but Shi Yiting just conserving herself somewhat. And she knows she'll be there for the final at 7:10 local time in Tokyo this evening. Nikolajczyk has gone through in 14.87 in second position, and Jeon Min Jae of Korea, the 44-year-old, a season best time of 15.41 seconds for her, takes the 3rd automatic qualification position. But there's your winner, Shi Yiting of China, 4.50. She goes through in first place as she looks to add a 100-metre title to the 200 she's picked up. Wonderful start, looking good out wide as well was the Brazilian Oliveira Cruz. She got away to a pretty decent start. Nikolajczyk did her best in the middle section of the race to try and make up the ground. It didn't matter in the end because she still goes through, as does John. And then after that, we'll just look for the next 2 fastest qualifiers to go through. But it may well come from the opening heat. That was a little bit faster, despite the world record holder being in this one. She actually goes through with the 3rd fastest time. So Shi Yiting wins the second heat in the women's 100 metres T36. Nikolajczyk of Germany, John of Korea also qualify for this evening's final. So how does that look in the wash-up? Well, there it is. Buhorn, the European champion, has managed to go through as the fastest qualifier, along with De Silva Brito, both from the opening heat, which was much faster.
Back to the shot put we go. Greg Stewart, 16.75, has been holding up nicely through this competition. And another throw around the 16-metre mark. He's 16.30 at the World Championships 2 years ago. Remains his career best until today, where the 16.75 and a Paralympic record. Josh Cinemo, best of 15.90 to this point. Sitting 3rd. He's got a very smooth, well-honed technique, has Cinemo. He helps run a not-for-profit organisation called Some Assembly Required, which is there to raise awareness of people living with disability. So he's giving back to the community, which a lot of these athletes do. I'm sure he'd be a big supporter of the new campaign, We the 15, the 15% of our world's population with a disability. Now here's Greg Stewart again. has played sitting volleyball for Canada. That's well out past 16. So he did a 16.75 with his first attempt. This is thereabouts. Cinemo, who's sitting third at the moment, has the world record of 16.80. And they're closing in on it. So the Paralympic record set in the first round, and he's nearly matched it in the fifth. Wei En Long. Just down the standings a little, trying to crack the top three. What's he need? 15.90. And his best so far, 15.48. Well, that's not going to quite do it for him. One of his best results came at the World Championships 2015, where it was a silver medal for him. Does have a best of 15.80 Wei, and he just couldn't get near that today. However, 6 fair throws and a good competition from him. Cinemo, let's see what he's got left. Love to replicate that world record from a couple of years ago. That'll lift him to the top of the standings. Really takes off quickly. Once it starts, away he goes. And he's out towards 16 again. He's had a 15.90. See, this one disturbs the tape, sitting at 16 meters. So it'll be just short of that. Might be good enough today, but he might be a bronze medalist. We'll see. 15.84. His third was his best. Stewart. He's a big man, rocking the different coloured shoes. That's a statement right there. Again, he's out past 16. It doesn't seem to be a trouble for him. Started with 16.75. Germany's Schultz comes over to congratulate him on a good competition. Took top spot in the first round, and they just haven't been able to shift him. And I think the big Canadian's going to get it done. 16.29, and he remains in first position, so it will be gold for Canada and for Greg Stewart, the man from Victoria, British Columbia, which hosted the 1994 Commonwealth Games. What a beautiful part of the world that is, if you ever get over to BC, as they like to call it, around Vancouver, Victoria, all lovely places. Yet again, competition conducted in the very best of spirit. Canadians are happy about that outcome.
Men's 400 metres T37 victory ceremony. The only final taking place on the track in this morning session, and what a final it was. The reigning Paralympic champion, Charles Dutoit, he was Paralympic record holder. He finished in 5th position. It was the RPC who took gold and bronze, and the United States with a silver. or the European and world champion, and the world record holder heading into this. Took the victory, but it was his teammate, Sherman Kobasov of the RPC, with a lifetime best of 50.44, who took the bronze medal. Just missed out on the medal in the 100 metres, finishing in 4th position, so the disappointment of that offset somewhat by picking up a bronze over 400 metres. Well, silver went to a young man from the United States of America who only took up para-athletics a couple of years ago. Played football before that. Set a world record in the opening day in the 100 metres. He ended up taking gold in that. He'd never run 400 metres before. This is his Paralympic Games debut. Didn't have a personal best, didn't have a season best. And in his first final, he runs 50.26, a new North American record, to pick up a silver to add to his goal from the 100 metres. "25 years of age. Also 25 years of age with Sherman Kobasov, and the man who's a couple of years older, Andrei Vadovin, who took silver in the 100 metres, adds the Paralympic title to the world title he won in 2019 and the European title he won earlier this year. And with it, he broke his own world record, so he now holds the world and Paralympic record, and he is the gold medalist in the men's 400 metres T37 coordination impairment category.
Ladies and gentlemen, the anthem of RPC.
皆様 RPC 参加の演奏です。
Ladies and gentlemen, the Paralympic medalists.
皆様パラリンピックメダリストです。
So the tunes of Tchaikovsky's first piano concerto, the RPC anthem, with Andrei Vadovin, the gold medalist, with those wonderful designs. So Mighty, the mascot, also given to each of them. Mayhew and Kobasov picking up medals as well.
Men's shot put, 46, and our friend Greg Stewart has prevailed. Canadians are happy.
Please welcome
Man. Working job, buddy.
He's so tall. It's almost comical, isn't it, the difference in height? That Stuart must be up there near a couple of metres, I think. He's done a good job today. And confirming the standings for you, 16.75 Paralympic record for the Canadian Nikita Prokhorov of the RPC, 16.29, and 15.90 for Josh Sinamo, whose world record remains intact. Another victory ceremony for you, and a men's long jump. Had a field of 12. We've got a 1-2 for China, and third for Jose Gregorio Lemos Rivas, the big man from Colombia, who already has a gold medal from the javelin. In some ways, that event resembled this one, because Lemos Rivas, with his first throw, set a new world record in that javelin and took it easy from there. And Zhu, gold medalist in this long jump, also had a pretty cruisy second half, not choosing to jump after his third round.
Ambassador for International Relations of the Tokyo Organising Committee of the Olympic and Paralympic Games.
東京オリンピック・パラリンピック競技大会組織委員会アンバサダー for International Relations.
Bronze medalist representing Colombia,
銅メダリストコロンビア
Jose Gregorio Lemos Rivas.
So Lemos Rivas started the competition with a 6.47. Similar jump in the second, then a big improvement in the third, and an area record of 6.70. Then came a couple of fouls, and he refocused, and another career best with his last jump of 6 meters 78. So a bronze to go with his javelin gold. Also had a 5th place in the 100.
銀メダリスト中華人民共和国
Zhong just gave himself a few nervous moments, opening with a foul, but then with a steady 6.57. It was actually a seasonal best. And then closed with a 6.80 as a PB. He only beat Lemos Rivas by 2 centimeters. So he needed that big jump in the last round to reclaim second spot. Coming into this competition, the world record was held by China's Hu Jianwen. That set 6 years ago. It was 7.13. Zhu Dening equaled it in the second round, and then in the third bettered it with a 7.31. So that's the new world mark. And Zhu decided to sit out the 4th and 5th rounds, and eventually the 6th as well. I suppose the risk with that is that if you sit out 4 and 5 and then suddenly you have to jump again in the 6th because someone's gone past you, you've been getting cold for half an hour. Anyway, that wasn't the case for Zhu. He is the champion.
People's Republic of China.
皆様中華人民共和国国歌の演奏です。
Gold to Zhu Dining. Silver, Zhong Huang Hao. And bronze to Jose Lemas Rivas. Can be quite a tactical event, the long jump. You can sit back and watch if you were in the comfortable position that Zhu was. And the seated Javelin F34 is progressing nicely. Afrouz from the Islamic Republic of Iran. That's a big throw. So the world record coming in, 38.23, belonging to Maurizio Valencia. He's yet to compete. But Afrouz, pretty happy with this. He got all of it. A 30-year-old from Jiroft in Iran. Only took up the sport 4 years ago, and a 40.05. That's a personal best by 5 meters. And for some reason, it's not even uncommon here.
Back to the track and the opening heat in the men's 100 metres T54. There are 3 heats in total. Leo Pecatati, the world record holder, the Paralympic record holder. He's also the Paralympic world and European champion, goes in the last of the heats. In this one, we have the silver medalist in the 400 metres, Pang Nua of Thailand, and Liu Yang, who has the fastest time of the field in this one, who also went in that 400 metres. It'll be the first 2 who will go through, and the next 2 fastest who will advance. Bun Van of Cambodia, who is his second Paralympic Games. He was the flag bearer at the 2016 opening ceremony. Liu Yang on the outside took silver in 2016 behind Leo Pecatati. Otherwise, Pang Nua, 18 years of age, first Paralympic Games, already a silver medalist over 400 metres. And Esa Pekka Matila, bronze in the recent 2021 European Championships. Well, he's been a revelation, Athuat Pang Nua, at 18 years of age, from Thailand. And they get away, and probably fastest of all was Luke Bailey of Australia on the inside. He looked really good getting away there, but strong on the outside as you expect. The Thai Pang Nua has roared out to the front. It's just the first 2 that go through. Pang Nua's going to take it in a time of 14 seconds exactly. It's then a photo as one goes over it. At the end, it's the Indonesian athlete, Arapin, who was disqualified from the 400 metres. He looks okay. Then it's just a racing accident. But Thailand have gone through in first position through that man there. Athuat Pang Nua of Thailand. 14 seconds exactly the time given. His lifetime best 13.95. It goes through, and Bun Van of Cambodia also progresses through in second position, in their lifetime best of 14.39. Season best for Liu and Arapin in third and fourth. But thankfully, he's back in his chair. Is the Indonesian who finished in fourth position. I think as he went across,
I think he was upset by the athlete beside him, who was busy celebrating and veered off course. I want to have another look at how it happened, because
well, it was Bailey who got away quickest of all in the gold on the inside of Australia, and then it was Arapin. We'll just take a look at what happened. Arapin on the second from the far side as he goes across, and well, I think his front wheel has just hit the back wheel of Van Voon, who came in second. I don't know if there was much in it. I think it was just one of those unfortunate events. Now there is the winner who goes across and through to the final. As first in this one, who's already picked up a silver here in the 400 metres, 18 years of age and looking really solid in his first Paralympic Games, is Althawat Pang Nua of Thailand.
Yeah, I think Van Voon was so pleased to finish second, threw his hands up in the air and maybe put his chair off a little off course, but anyway.
Well, he was happy. He got a lifetime best, Van Voon.
And Arapin is okay, fortunately.
Pang Nua goes through first. They both qualify, and after this, we'll be looking for the two fastest to advance to the final round. They'll be coming thick and fast. This is second heat of that men's 100 metres 254. Six to go in this one. Japan, Thailand, Mexico, USA, China, and Australia represented. Ikoma Tomoki, his first Paralympic Games. His idol, Leo Pekatati, the world and Paralympic record holder, goes in the final heat of this. Saichen Kongen, fourth. In 2021, and silver in 2011. Cervantes Garcia of Mexico. Eric Hightower, his wife Kim Crosby, won bronze in the 100 metres T13 final just yesterday. And Hu Yang out in lane 7, and Samuel Carter, who was 6th in 2016, will go from lane 8. So the second heat of 3 in the men's 100 T54 category. And getting away really well was the Mexican Cervantes Garcia in lane 5, and he's looking really strong right from the get-go. The Chinese athlete Hu Yang on the outside is going to take second, and then it's Samuel Carter who's picked up third and will hope to go through as one of those fastest losers. But the Mexican, he looks strong, doesn't he? Cervantes Garcia, who took bronze in 2019 at the World Championships, he got away to an absolutely flying start. He was strong from the beginning, and he didn't relent the whole way through.
Start fast and go faster.
Absolutely, and that a new area record as well, and lifetime best of 13.85 for the Mexican. He looks fit, he looks strong, he looks like he's ready to go. Hu Yang at 24 years of age, a lifetime best for him as well. And Samuel Carter, 14.19, a season best for him. But look at that start from Juan Pablo Cervantes Garcia. He looks so strong right from the beginning. He left the field in his wake. Hu Yang did his best. He just needed to qualify in second, and he did just that. Really strong work, powerful arms and shoulders there from the Mexican. He won gold at the Pan American Games in 2019 in Lima in Peru. He's given himself a chance of picking up a gold medal at the Paralympic Games as well. However, said that, the Paralympic record and the world record holder goes in the next one, Leo Pekatati. But there it is, Cervantes Garcia, a lifetime best. Hu Yang, also a lifetime best. They go through as the two fastest in that heat. Well, Finland will fancy their chances in this race. Leo Pekatati is up next. Paralympic and world champion, European champion. He's won the past 4 Paralympic titles over 100 metres. He's got 4 world titles and 4 European titles. What else would you ask for? Yet again, we've had some quite wonderful action. Most of it, in fairness, has been in the field on this morning session of day 6 in the para-athletics. And we're about to round up the final 100 metres race in the T54 heats, which will contain the world record holder and Paralympic record holder, Leo Pekatati, in lane 3 from Finland. There'll be some stiff competition to go through as well. There's some very good names in this one. Six to go. Pekatati will start as favourite, the 38-year-old, in lane 3. Kenny Van Veegel also there. He's gone in the 400 metres already. Van Veegel won gold in the World Championships way back in 2002. And took bronze in 2004 and 2016 as well. So there's plenty of experience. There's also some inexperience as well. That's always the way though across Paralympic Games and major championships.
Now, the first 5 days at this time of day, we're just coming up to midday, it was 35 degrees. Now it's 22. And it hasn't affected the quality of their performances. Doesn't seem to worry these guys.
No, well, it's a bit chillier. I'm actually wearing a jacket. That's the first time I've said that in a long time. But the track is still fast. There are still records that are being broken. There are still field records that are being broken. And these athletes are very honoured to be competing in Tokyo at the 2020 Paralympic Games. We're over halfway through now. China still lead the medal table overall. First Paralympic Games for that man there, the Armenian. First summer Paralympic Games, I should say, for Nazarayan. He's a para cross-country athlete as well, who competed in 2018 in Pyeongchang. China represented in this as well. Zhang Ying, who was 5th in 2019, lifetime best of 14.20. There is Leo Pekatati, world record set, along with a Paralympic record in London in 2012. Kenny Van Veegel, lifetime best of 13.78. He'll be hoping to get somewhere near that today. There is the Armenian, Stas Nazarayan. Souza of Argentina, the 21-year-old from La Roja. Zhang Ying of China, 8th in the 1,500 metres. And Tamba from Gambia, also a wheelchair basketball player, will go from lane 8. There he is though, looking as calm and cool as ever. This, the event he's renowned for. So 2 will go through, and then we'll be looking back through the 3 heats to see who are the 2 fastest losers. Eric Hightower with the qualifying point at the moment. 14.33 is what they'll be looking at. Well, they've just been asked to just wait for a moment. The official's not happy with something. Perhaps there was a slight bit of wheel movement there. Pekatati and Van Veegel just having a chat. known each other for a very long time. Well, it's a bit of chatter amongst the officials, and the yellow card has been handed out to Gabriel Emmanuel Souza of Argentina. So a warning given there. It must have been a slight bit of movement, but nothing that broke the plane of the line. So the officials will have him under their watchful eye as we wait to go again in the third and final heat of the men's 100 metres T54. And they're away with no problems at all. Very fast on the outside in lane 7 was Zhang Ying, but Leo Pekatati is out in front. It's Pekatati who's going to take it, and it is Zhang out wide who's going to go through in second in lane 7. 13.81 is the time that Leo Pekatati is going to cross in. So he's outside his season best by 2/100ths of a second, Leo Pekatati, but he has gone through in first place, as you would expect. Kenny Van Weegel in third, is Zhang Ying of China with a lifetime best of 13.95 in second position. Season best for Van Weegel in third, so he'll qualify through with a fastest qualified time of those who missed out on automatic qualification. And Emmanuel Souza, who picked up a yellow card at the beginning, 15.08 for him. But Leo Pekatati just holding on nicely there, doing it pretty easy in fairness. And Zhang Ying of China, who was really rocketing out of those blocks in lane 7, qualifies through automatically as well. But the sheer power, the pace of Leo Pekatati, he's been around for a long time. 4 world and European titles, as well as those Paralympic titles. Leo Pekatati, 13.81, goes through first in the men's 100 metres T54, heat 3. Well, Sosa down the bottom of the screen there picked up the yellow card beforehand. He finished in 15.08. It was a lifetime best for the Armenian Stas Nazarayan in 6th position, the Winter Paralympian. But it's that man there who just eases on through, as per is the standard operating procedure for Leo Pekatati in the T54 100 metres.
Victory ceremony now in Tokyo for the women's discus F41. It was all about Tunisia and Morocco in this one. And Rouya Talili, a 31-year-old from Tunisia, who was the defending champion. And had already won shot put here. It's a great competition between her and Yusra Karim, who's now the former world record holder. Hayat El Ghurrar, 25-year-old, was 5th in Rio and 4th at the World Championships 2 years ago. Her best effort was a 29.30 in the 4th round. And as good as that was, the two in front of her threw significantly further. And she's pretty emotional about it too. And this is a big achievement to finally get on the podium in a big meeting. Karim's world record, set earlier this year actually, was 35.33. She saw it beaten in the second round. She responded with 37.35 herself in the third round. So she beat her own world record by 2 meters. And can you believe it wasn't enough?
Gold medalist and Paralympic champion, representing Tunisia.
With an exquisite sense of timing, Talili waited until the last round to find a 37.91 throw to deny Karim the gold. That was an improvement on her previous career best of over 3 meters. If she threw that mascot somewhere, it'd go a long way. She's pretending to. Talili. Shot put and now discus gold. Tunisia now with 3 gold medals at these games, and Talili has won 2 of them. The other one also coming at the track from Walid Katila in the men's 100 T34. Silver and bronze to Morocco, Yusra Karim and Hayat El Garah. My goodness, she's a feisty competitor, Talili. Men's javelin result is in, and Afrouz of Iran has displaced Maurizio Valencia as the owner of the world record. We have a 40.05 he threw. Meneses Medina of Colombia. So silver and bronze to Colombia. Let's have a look at some of the action. It's Meneses Medina. His best today came in the last round, 37.11. Just releasing himself from the chair, and Maurizio Valencia is 38.23. Even if he'd repeated that, wouldn't be good enough. The previous world record. He was up last. So the Rio gold medalist has to settle for silver with a 37.84. Saeed Afrouz, Islamic Republic of Iran. Great effort. A 40.05 for Afrouz. and over 5 metres longer than his career best. We're sounding like a broken record with these broken records. But that's what's happening.
Bronze goes to Diego Menezes Medina. Gold goes to Saeed
Afrouz, 40.05. There's the photo they all love to have, or the shot. It'll be on someone's mobile phone that'll get to sent to his phone. And we can have now the men's shot put F46 victory ceremony. Canada standing tall, literally and figuratively, in this final presentation.
President and Representative Director, Asahi Breweries Limited. Accompanied by Ambassador for International Relations of the Tokyo Organizing Committee of the Olympic and Paralympic Games.
東京オリンピック・パラリンピック競技大会組織委員会アンバサダー for International Relations.
Well, Josh Cinemo from San Diego,
銅メダリスト
world record holder at 1680, and at least that is a record that still stands. They couldn't beat it today, but he had to settle for bronze after a best of 1590.
Like a seal with his mask.
He's got a great technique. He's a lovely shot putter to watch, actually. He really executes well. I think he's a real thinker about the game and about life. And he's giving back to the community with his not-for-profit organisation to make people aware of folks with disabilities. Nikita Prokhorov, RPC athlete, 30 years of age now. His Paralympic record of 1568 that had stood since London, it went today, courtesy of Greg Stewart. Prokhorov with a best of 1629.
Gold medalist and Paralympic champion representing Canada.
金メダリストおよびパラリンピックチャンピオンカナダ
Greg Stewart.
Well, Greg Stewart, a former sitting volleyball player, you can tell why he'd be a good volleyball player. His height would be a real advantage. And he today threw 1675 with his first attempt. And a second Canadian gold medal at these games.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Canada.
皆様カナダ国歌の演奏です。
a quite stirring anthem, "O Canada," and it stirred the emotions, I'm sure, of Greg Stewart. Second at the World Championships 2 years ago. And he bettered his previous best throw, 16.30 today, with a 16.75. Congratulations to him, and to Nikita Prokhorov and Josh Sinema, second and third for RPC and the USA. Don't get a true idea of Greg's height when he's alone in the circle, but when he's standing next to his rivals, it makes quite a picture.
Leo Pecatati in the men's 100 metres T54. Going through into the final, as you would expect in that third heat. 13.81 for the Paralympic and world record holder, and the Paralympic and world champion as well. Zhang Ying of China, a lifetime best for him, taking the second position, and Van Wiegel qualifying as well from that heat. That's because Van Wiegel was a fastest loser. Samuel Carter of Australia also picking up a spot in the final. Pecatati, the fastest of all, 4 personal bests in amongst that group going through. And we stay on the track. This time the women's 100 metres T54. The first heat of 2 to go in this one. Tatiana McFadden with the world record, and Lu Wenyun with the Paralympic record, both not in this particular event. Still plenty of class though. European champion Zabeta Supergachi is in this. There she is. Has already competed in the 800 metres where she came 8th. She won the European title in 2016 and in 2021. Hannah Dedrick, 18 years of age, from the United States. Zhao of China, who was silver in the last World Championships in 2019. Already won gold here over 1,500 metres. A 39-year-old Australian, Eliza Alconnell, will go in lane 6. And Perrine of Mauritius, we've already seen here at the second Paralympic Games of her career, didn't finish in the 800 metres. Turkey, USA, China, Australia, and Mauritius. And it is Turkey who gets away really quick on the inside there. Supergachi, but looking strong also. Zhao, the 1,500 metres gold medalist, is powering through. On the inside of her, Hannah Dedrick, 18 years of age, from the United States of America, from Spokane in Washington, has also qualified through. It's a new Paralympic record for Zhao. So after winning gold in the 1,500 metres, she's broken her compatriot Li Wenjun's Paralympic record, which has stood since September in 2012. Her lifetime best coming into this was 16.21. She's absolutely smashed that and picked up the Paralympic record at 15.80 seconds. Dedrick's gone through, qualifying in second position, the 18-year-old in 16.21 with a lifetime best as well. But just watch there, Supergachi got away well with Zhao, and in the 40 metres to 70 or 80 metres section. Just look at her go. No need to have words for this. Well, that was absolutely brilliant from Zhao Zhiquan. A lot left in the tank as well. Wonderful performance from Hannah Dedrick of the United States of America in her first Paralympic Games. She's the Pan American Games champion from 2019. But it's that lady there who took the Paralympic record, 15.80. Hannah Dedrick, 16.21, goes through with a lifetime best, and Supagaichi also through in that one as well in the top 3. The final race of the morning session, the women's 100 metres T54. Second heat to go through to the final. Amanda Katai, the double world champion, goes in this one from lane 4. Finland very strong in both the men's and women's T54 category over this distance. This is the impaired muscle power or impaired passive range of movement category in the wheelchair racing. This is the strongest of the categories, T51 being the least strongest and 54s being the strongest of all. Alphonse of Mauritius will go on the inside lane there. She was 7th in the 800 metres. Kataya, who's the double world champion, goes in lane 4. Cherry Madsen, who took gold back in 2000 and bronze in 2019. She's experienced, will go from lane 5. Fatou Senna, 24 years of age, her first major championships from Gambia, will go in 6. And Muraoka of Japan, 24 years of age, numerous Paralympic and world medals in para-alpine skiing dating back to 2014, will go in lane 7. So Kataya on the right and Madsen in lane 5. 5 to go. First 3 will qualify. The cut-off point at the moment is 17.33 seconds for the fastest losers to go through. Mauritius, Finland, USA, Gambia and Japan all represented. There's a slight bit of movement there. You can just see on the second from the left, it was Fatou Senna, the Gambian athlete, I think, who was just not quite steady. Must be a few nerves. First major championship. And all of a sudden, when you've represented Gambia in women's amputee football and you come into this as well, it's a bit of a different atmosphere. And you just get a few nerves, a bit of stress, and the wheel slightly moves and they have to reset. So she'll be given a yellow card and a warning. I think you can work that one out. The official was telling her to make sure the wheel stays in the correct position. No issues though. And we'll set again in this second heat of the women's 100 metres T54. This time they are away with no problems. Really start on the inside there from Alphonse, and Kataya now making up ground. Madsen struggling somewhat in 4th position at the moment, but she's moving through the pack now. But it will be Amanda Kataya who's going to take it. Kataya from Madsen in 2nd position. On the inside of Kataya, it is Alphonse in 16.43 is the time. So a lot slower than the opening heat, but it is Amanda Kataya, the double world champion, who goes through. She used to train on the airport runway as a child at a private airport. It was about a mile long, gave her plenty of practice. Quite incredible that Finland are so good at the T54 category, with Leo Pekatati in the men's version and Amanda Kataya in the women's category of T54. Cherry Madsen who's there with her, went through in second. They look pretty relaxed and pretty comfortable. 16.60 for Madsen, and now Fons in third position qualifying as well. The Mauritian 16.71 for her, who was 7th in the 800 metres. But it is Amanda Kataya. Sherry Madsen came home rather strong after a bit of a slower start. She knew the first three went through, and Alphonse looking really strong on the inside, the lady from Mauritius at just 25 years of age. But Muruaka of Japan in fourth position, but she should be good enough to go through with that time. 17.10 for the Japanese athlete. And they'll have the final to look forward to in the evening session. It's been a big morning of 100-metre events. Kataya with the time of 16.43, Madsen 16.60, Alphonse 16.71. Muruoka has made it through from Japan, 17.10, enough to get her through as a fastest qualifier. So there's how it looks. A Paralympic record set by Zhao Jiquan of China. Dedrick, a lifetime best. Alcanel and Mamoka will go through as the lucky losers to the final this evening on a rather chilly morning in Tokyo.
Oh, come on, toughen up. It's just 22 degrees. You live in Ireland. This can't possibly be cold for you. Anyway, that's all right. It's I'm enjoying it being a bit cooler. It was very hot first 5 days, much cooler after last night's rain. But hot competition nonetheless. That's what we get every session. Let's look at the discus competition, F41. This was a beauty, won by Talili of Tunisia. But what a fight it was with Karim, previous world record holder. That went today. There was the field. Had two were late withdrawals. Hayat El Garrar was good enough today for third. Fourth round effort of 29.30. Was just short of her personal best. Very nice technique. And a bronze medal for the Moroccan. But the real contest was between her teammate, Yusra Karim, and Talili. Karim would better her own world record by a couple of metres. In the third round, she threw a 37.35 and would have been entitled to think that'll be safe. But come the last round, needing over 37.35 to win, Talili produced an astonishing throw. She knew it was good, but this good? It was 37.91. Had already won the shot put gold. Strength and technique allowing her to throw a new world record. And the celebrations began. That was a 3-metre improvement on her career best. Men's long jump, T38, also today. And again, an interesting competition with Zhu Dening sitting out the second half because he'd jumped a world record. Field of 12 tackled this event. Actually 3 from China and 2 would medal. javelin gold medalist, Jose Lemos Rivas, would have a good competition. And came up with a 6.78 in the last round. Zhong Huang Hao had a good battle with Lemos Rivas all day. Needed a big last jump to get the silver, and he found 6.80, so he beat Lemos Rivas' jump by 2 centimetres. Zhu Dining, he owned this competition though. He's the only man to clear 7 metres, and he did it 3 times. And the third was a world record of 7.31. It previously belonged to Hu Jianwen, fellow Chinese competitor. And after that third round effort, Zhu set out the rest of the competition. Catch me if you can, and they couldn't. I don't know why he wasn't pleased with a world record jump. I think he was. Maybe as a shake of disbelief rather than disappointment. Must have been. And a 1-2 for China and third for Colombia. Men's shot put F46. This was a competition dominated not just in distance, but by the size of Greg Stewart, the big man, 7'2" in the old language. Too good today for Prokhorov, Russian Paralympic Committee, and Josh Sinemo of the United States. Now, Sinemo, world record holder, 16.80. That's set 2 years ago. They wouldn't beat that, but Sinemo himself would manage 15.90 in the third round. Lives and trains out of San Diego. He's got a very efficient technique, and now he has a bronze medal. Nikita Prokhorov has the Paralympic record of 15.68 set in London, but that would go today. In fact, he would beat it himself with a 16.29. And that was a personal best for him. Quite pleased with that. Greg Stewart out of Victoria, British Columbia. Western Canada stepped into the ring, and with his first attempt would smash the Paralympic record. And take hold of the competition with a 16.75. That bettered Prokhorov's old Paralympic record by over a metre. And he would hold on and win it fairly comfortably in the end by 46 centimetres. Well, the performances are great, but sometimes it's the reactions that really move you. The smiles on the faces of these athletes when they do well, and the great sporting spirit with which these events are being held. It gladdens your heart, really, and there's a fair bit more to come. I hope you've enjoyed this first session today and that you'll be back for more. We certainly will be in Tokyo for the 2020 Paralympic Games. Look forward to your company soon.
Away first time. Away first time. Pretty even through the first 30 metres or so. Now